Hi, this is Kamera. We're on day number 101, 2 Samuel chapter 22 through 24. This is the last couple of chapters in 2 Samuel, and then we're going into the Kings. So this is Aiden with me, my grandson. Say hi, Aiden. He said he wanted to be in the video with me. And so, yeah, every now and then I ask him, and he says yes, and most of the time he says no. Thank you, Aiden. Hi, Aiden. What is that? Anyway, yeah.
Meow.
So it starts off with
Meow.
so it starts off with this song that David created after God had delivered him. You're saying bye, okay, buddy. Love you. So after God has delivered Saul from David from Saul and all his enemies, and the Bible even tells us when God delivered David from Saul and his enemies, there was rest. Well, David created a song. He sang to God. It's so wonderful. And as I'm reading it, I'm like, this sounds familiar. So I pick up another Bible and I do a side-by-side comparison. It actually is a Psalm 18, side-by-side comparison. So they place a Psalm in 2 Samuel. And it basically, in this Psalm, you get a glimpse of David, how he felt when he was out there, how he was in this, going through these things, and how God came through for him. I love the way that he paints this picture of what God is actually going through to get to him, to deliver him, and how God delivered him, and how God was with him. And clearly you see that David takes no credit. He said, I did this and I did that, but God, you see that he's not taking credit, but God has given him the ability to do this. God had granted him favor with his enemies or against his enemies, how God delivered him. And he talks about who God is to him. And how he kept himself pure and how he stayed away from sin and he did everything God wanted him to do. And it's just when you've been obedient to God and you did all you can to please God, but you still go through and you still trust God. And at the end of that battle, you say, oh my gosh, this is what I went through, but I stayed faithful and God just showed himself so clear. And I see that even through my battle, how he was always there, how he gave me the ability to do that. This is what I get out of reading that psalm. But this is basically what David is saying. I went through all of this and that, and God did this and that, and how he delivered me. And to the faithful, he shows himself faithful. And to those of integrity, he shows integrity. But those who rebel, he are wicked, he shows him just, that it's just a great praise that you're going to be able to incorporate into your life and saying that praise unto God. You're reading it, but then you're thinking, wow, God, you're this to me as well. David did that. So that was the first chapter we read, which was 22. And then in 23, David spends time talking about his warriors, who they were. They identify the three. The three, they are part of the warriors, the 30 warriors, but they are the three that sticks out. These are the mightiest of mighty warriors. They would do crazy daring stuff. David may mention that he was very thirsty and he will love water behind the enemy lines. But they weren't really the enemies, but it was forbidden because Saul was running after them. So these three, they went and they retrieved some water for David. David didn't know they were going. He was just basically speaking, oh, it'd be nice to have this. And they gave it to him. What respect, what love, right? So they give him that water and he felt so guilty. He felt so guilty. He said, I can't do this. This is like the blood of the ones who actually did it. I can't do that. And so he pours out that water as an offering unto God. And so it's like, wow, I can't believe they did that. But we're going to give this to God. And so the three are the ones who would do like crazy stuff like that, daring stuff. When you think about it, it's like they had this high in doing those extreme things. So they were known as the three. And then it goes on and talk about the 30 mighty warriors. And I was really surprised to see that it wasn't Joab who was the most famous of the 30. It was Abishai, his brother. Abishai. I've been calling him Abishai, actually, through the entire time. But he is the most famous. He is the mightiest warrior, but he is not of the three. He's not the mightiest, the mightiest of the might, but he is a mighty warrior and the most famous one, and he is the commander of the 30. The 30 warriors are the elite warriors. These are the best of the best of the best. His main group, his main warriors, the ones that went and took care of business, who made it happen. Now, he talks about some of the things that the different warriors did. There was one that's called Benaiah, I believe his name was. He was the most, I think they say he was the most popular. He wasn't famous. He was the most honored. He was the most honored warrior, but he was the captain of David's bodyguards. And it just tells you what he did to gain his fame and that honor. Now, this is when a few years ago when I first read this, I was like, whoa, that was some seriousness. Uriah the Hittite is also in that list of mighty warriors. He was one of the main elite warriors, and his name is mentioned there. Uriah the Hittite, Bathsheba's first husband. Yeah, the one who David had killed. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. So anyway, he talks about those 30 warriors and what they've done, and I like the fact that that they're mentioned. They were mentioned. They were the main ones, main warriors. The next and final book that we read, God. First of all, God is very angry with the children of Israel, and we already know what makes God angry when they start serving other idols and doing things that are abominable to God and those things detestable to God, and stop following God, being disobedient to God. Those are the things that makes God angry. And so what he does is he creates a situation with David, or deals with David about a situation. Pretty much encourage Aiden, stop it. This boy, they be trying you. So he puts in David's heart to do a census. And God is not pleased with census. Unless he tells him to do it, it's not, no. But Joab goes to David and say, what do you mean? You sure you want to do this? This is not cool. I mean, may God bless you with hundreds of more than what are here. He really didn't agree with that. But Joab went ahead and he was obedient and did what David asked him to do, or appointed him to do. Went throughout all of Israel, counted all the people, all the warrior men. He came back with, it took them all close to 10 months to achieve this. And so someone's knocking at the door. Actually, they banging on the door. Who is that? I can't believe this. I do apologize for that. And so what David does is, what the count was, 800,000 warrior men in all of Israel, 500,000. So it's 800,000 in all of Israel, 500,000 in Judah alone. And I'm like, wow, 500,000 in Judah alone, and 800,000 in all of Israel. I need to look at that map again to see how big Judah is, right? And so, God basically dealt with David about that afterwards, dealt with his conscience. David repented. The prophet Gad comes and tells David that, we need to do something about that. We need to offer up a sacrifice to God to clear us of that guilt. And so Gad gives him 3 things that he needs to choose from. And they tore David up. He didn't know what to choose. It was a hard 3 to choose. Number 1, you can either get the 3-year famine throughout all of Israel. Number 2, you can get 3 months running from your enemies. Number 3, you can get a plague. God will send a plague. So David was really, really torn. He was really hurt, didn't know what to choose, but he says, I'd rather let God punish me. At least he's merciful. God is a merciful God. Let's do this 3-day plague. Well, that 3-day plague went on and killed 70,000 people. And so Gad told them we need to go and build this offering. They go into this location. I've forgotten the name of the location, but I think I do remember the name of the person who owned the property. Aranah. Aranah offers to, after he greets the king and find out what the king wants, he offers him the land. He offers him the animals and the wood that he needed for the burnt offering. But David's like, it wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be right, me not paying the price for the sacrifice. So he paid Aranah 50 pieces of silver. And yeah, he has that burnt offering, the guilt offering, I believe, in the sin offering, the peace offering, the sin offering. There was 3 different burnt offering: peace and burnt, guilt, sin. Either way, once he did that, the plague ceased. It stopped. Yeah, guys, day 101, right? The last books of 2 Samuel. So yeah, there's some stuff in there that makes you question what happened in there with David, and this census, and how God played in that thing. Something to really think about. But listen, guys, the only way we'll really know and understand is if we ask God to help us to understand. Lord, what is it you want me to get out of this message? Teach me. I'm concerned about what happened with David. Help me to understand, clear my confusion. I've been baffled about certain things, and I'll say, Lord, I just don't get it. I don't understand. That doesn't even sound right. And he is the one that clears my understanding. He'll paint a picture for me where I'll understand it, and he'll give me peace about it. So yeah, God is that God who we can go to and talk to if we're concerned about something, confused about stuff, even in his word, and he will give us understanding. But guys, day 101, day 2 Samuel chapter 22 through 24, 10 books down, we're going into the Kings. So guys, you have a God-filled blessed day.